Hi, my name is Kenny Casimir. I'm a higher student of Higher Foundation, and this is my college story. I started attending the Georgia Institute of Technology 2017, but I've known that I wanted to attend Georgia Tech ever since I was in the 8th grade. I had an English language arts teacher. She made us do a project where we had to discover and learn about colleges and scholarships and to decide which school was the right one for us. And since that project in 8th grade, I knew that I wanted to come to Tech. So in 2017, when I got my acceptance letter, I was very happy and excited to get into Georgia Tech. But the journey and the road of traversing and making it through Tech has not been easy, difficult to say the least. So in 2015, my dad, he called me into his room and he said, "Hey son, let's do a DNA test." So the reason being is because my dad, me and him, we never had a very strong relationship. It was always very awkward, growing up with him. And it wasn't a very good relationship. And so in 2015, we decided to do a DNA test to kind of figure out why the disconnect. And so we did the DNA test, and a few days later, it came back negative. It turned out that he wasn't my biological father. And so I remember in the car sitting with them, and I cried when I received the news, to find that the person that I knew the last 16 years as my father was no longer my father, and the cousins and the aunts and uncles that I knew as my blood relatives were not my family. And this is the family that I've known for so long, and being in the US with them, because my mom's family and my mom were all in Haiti. So I kind of felt alone in that moment. And I remember receiving the news and I cried, but I think at the same moment, at the same time, I didn't know what I was feeling. And I kind of built up a wall, and I never really confronted myself with the situation. And so 2015, fast forward to 2017, so 2 years of ongoing battles and struggles with him. And because he was upset, we went to Haiti to kind of have a conversation about it with my mom. But it turns out his plan was to leave me in Haiti to kind of just live in Haiti, due to the lack of resources and opportunity in Haiti. I was supposed to stay there and kind of grow up to become nothing. And so with the help of some teachers, I found my way back to the US. And 2015 to 2017, it was just 2 years of struggles and fighting with him, and him standing in the way of my success. I remember having to get my passport renewed, and I needed his help to do it, and he just didn't want to help, and I needed things to get done for school, and I was trying to get a scholarship, and all of these things, he kind of stood in the way. But through all of that, I still made it, and I still got into Tech. So that's why today I got that acceptance letter. I remember I shed happy tears. But fast forward to 2017, I'm a summer freshman at Tech, and that summer semester I did very good because I took some easy classes at Tech, and I assumed because I was doing well in school that all of the things that it all came to this, and I'm finally over it. I thought everything was okay because I was doing well in school. And then the real semester started in fall 2017. One of my scholarships that I came into school with was an ROTC scholarship, so I was a part of the ROTC program my first year at Tech. And so being in that program, it was a lot to handle on top of school and on top of classes. So my grades, they tanked. I was struggling that entire first year, my freshman year, and I blamed it on ROTC. And I thought it was because I couldn't fit into the program. I thought it was because I was unhappy there. I thought that's why I was struggling at Tech. And so after the summer, after the freshman year was over, that summer, I decided, it's time to move forward, and I decided to leave ROTC. I decided it wasn't right for me. And in fact, it actually wasn't right for me. And then that summer year, I came back, 2018, my second year. I was no longer in ROTC. I gave up the scholarship, and so I was on my own as far as figuring out how to pay for school. I didn't really have family help, going through school. So I got a job working at, I had a job, when I was in high school, working at Chick-fil-A, and so I was working that job. And also that summer year, I got a second job actually at IKEA, and I was able to give up my job at Chick-fil-A. So that job at IKEA paid more during that summer. And my second year, I was able to kind of work on the weekends at IKEA to support myself and to pay for food and groceries and things like that. And so that's how it went. And so that entire second year, I was also struggling at Tech. You know, things weren't getting better. I was still struggling, and I thought the reason being was because I didn't have time on the weekends to study, to stay on top of my classes, because I was working at IKEA, you know, Saturdays and Sundays. So I continued to kind of run from the problem that I was dealing with and, you know, make excuses for myself as to why I was struggling. And finally, the second semester of my second year, I remember I was in RHA, Resident Housing Association. I was a part of that. I was the events coordinator. And I remember I was in a meeting with kind of like the people that were in that organization with me. And during the meeting, I just got to thinking about everything I was going through. And in that moment, everything kind of just resurfaced. All of the things that I've like experienced since 2015. And I was ready to break down. You know, it was supposed to be like a happy meeting. Everyone around me was just, you know, laughing and talking about plans and excited. And I kind of just felt alone in the space. I felt like I was there alone and I was ready to break down. So that night I went back into my dorm and I just sent the really long text to my father, you know, the man that I thought was my former father. So I sent him a text kind of just to confront the situation. I told him, hey, you know, I forgive you and I hope you forgive me for everything that's happened. And after that, I reached out to one of my friends. And so the reason I'm sharing my story with you all is because I want people to take away that when you're dealing with things and you bottle and you keep your emotions deep down and you don't confront yourself, it hinders your performance and it hinders your success. Talking about it really does help, and talking to a friend can help you get that closure, and confronting the situation, it can help you get to another level, to get to another place so that you can continue to succeed. And also when you're experiencing struggles and you're going through things, talking about it to someone, you may find that the person that you reach out to has solutions to your problem and that they're able to help you and they're able to open doors that you never thought could be open. So that night after I spoke to my dad, I got closure. You know, I talked to him and we're in a better place. And I talked to my friend and she was so worried for me that, you know, she reached out to her dad and she reached out to, and her dad reached out to some people and they set up a support system for me. And out of that came my very first internship at Georgia Tech. Because my grades, I remember right before all of this, we went to a conference, the NSBE annual convention in Detroit. And I tried my best, you know, I put my best foot forward. And I talked to so many like companies and potential employers, and everyone basically said no. You know, your resume, you know, you don't have the experience, you don't have the GPA, and I just got so many no's at that conference. But I did one interview with this one company, Albemarle Corporation, and they also denied me and said that, you know, for the summer we don't have anything for you, but check back with us in the fall. So that's also another way of saying no. So coming back from that convention and then being in that meeting, it was just, I felt like I had hit rock bottom and it was time to just confront the situation and to be honest with myself. So that's what I did. And out of that came an internship at a different company, Global Payments, that summer. And from that, I was able to use that as leverage, use that to boost my resume. And I went back, you know, I kept in touch with the recruiter from Albemarle and I continued to reach out to her throughout that summer. And I actually secured another internship, a co-op, that fall semester. So it was back-to-back opportunities of like working and building myself as, it was back-to-back opportunities of co-ops and internships, just from that one moment of like being able to speak my truth and to talk to other people about what I was experiencing and to confront the situation. And that's one of the things that Higher Foundation offers. They offer mentorship, so if you're able to reach out and you can open doors, and Higher Foundation can help you in your struggles, because when you're dealing with things, it affects you academically and financially and in all sorts of ways. So reaching out to someone, specifically mentors at Higher Foundation, can help you get to that next level and to help you get to a better place.